A storm is coming, and this time, it's not just in the story, it's in the hearts of millions who have been waiting for the next chapter. Season 6 of The Chosen is on the horizon, and fans are bracing themselves for what might be the most emotional, heartbreaking, and unforgettable season yet. The stakes have never been higher, and the question on everyone's mind is simple. Are we truly ready for the journey ahead? From the very beginning, The Chosen has been unlike anything we've ever seen. It started as a small project, powered by the faith and support of ordinary people, but it has grown into a global phenomenon that touches millions across the world. Each season has carried us deeper into the lives of Jesus and his disciples, but season 6 is where everything changes. This is not just another season, it's the beginning of the end of their journey together. And that realization makes every scene carry more weight than ever before. What makes this season so anticipated is not only the biblical events we know are coming, but also the emotional way this show tells them. The Chosen has always been more than a retelling of history. It's a deeply human story that makes you feel like you're walking alongside the disciples, laughing with them, weeping with them, and struggling with them. By the time we reach season 6, these characters don't feel like figures from scripture anymore. They feel like family. And that's exactly why what comes next will hit so hard. Fans already know the shadow of the crucifixion looms closer with every step. But here's the suspense. Will season 6 take us directly to that heartbreaking moment, or will it carefully set the stage, leaving the crucifixion and resurrection for season 7? This uncertainty is fueling endless theories among viewers, creating an emotional tension that's already building long before the first episode airs. One thing is certain, no matter how far season 6 goes, it will prepare us for the most difficult and powerful chapters in the story of Jesus. But beyond the events themselves, there's another reason this season feels so important: the emotional journeys of the disciples. We've seen them grow from hesitant followers into men and women of faith, but season 6 will test them in ways they've never been tested before. Doubts, fears, betrayal, and heartbreak are about to collide with the unshakable hope Jesus gives them. This is where the human side of the story shines brightest, because it's not just about miracles and teachings, it's about faith in the darkest hour. Visually, fans can also expect The Chosen to continue its breathtaking style. The wide desert landscapes, the intimacy of candlelit moments, and the close-ups that capture every tear and every smile will all be there. But this time, the weight behind those visuals will be heavier. Season 6 isn't just about beauty, it's about preparing us for sorrow and hope, colliding in the most unforgettable way. And while the story itself will undoubtedly move audiences, it's the anticipation that makes this season feel different. Fans are holding their breath, knowing what history tells us is coming, but still eager to see how the creators will bring it to life. The question isn't just what will happen, but how will it make us feel? That suspense, that emotional tension, is what makes The Chosen Season 6 not just a show, but an experience we carry with us. As we look closer at Season 6, the biggest question every fan is asking is simple: where will this chapter take us? Up until now, each season has carefully built the story, layer by layer, showing the growth of Jesus' ministry and the struggles of those who follow him. Season 1 showed us the beginning, the calling of the disciples, the simple yet life-changing miracles. Season 2 and 3 deepened those relationships, showing the growing impact of his teachings. By season 4 and 5, the world around them had started to shift, with both admiration and opposition growing stronger. Now, in season 6, the tension has reached a breaking point. This is the moment when every word, every choice, and every step feels heavier. The disciples are no longer just learners, they are witnesses. They've seen miracles that defy imagination, but they've also faced hostility and rejection. And now, as opposition from authorities grows louder, danger is no longer something distant. It is knocking at their doors. Season 6 will remind us that faith is not built in comfort. It is built in trials, in the moments where everything seems uncertain. For the fans, this creates a roller coaster of emotions. On one hand, we're eager to see the inspiring teachings and miracles that will continue to unfold. On the other, we're bracing ourselves for heartbreak, because we know that in the history of this story, light and darkness are about to collide. This constant push and pull between hope and sorrow is what makes The Chosen stand out. It never rushes to the ending. It makes you feel every step of the journey. And here's where the suspense grows even stronger. Will the season take us right up to the crucifixion? Or will it stop just short ending on a note that leaves us waiting, hurting, and desperate for season 7. The creators have been very intentional with pacing. They know that these moments are not just plot points, they are the very heart of the story. To rush them would be a mistake. That's why some insiders believe season 6 will stop just before the crucifixion, letting the final season carry the full emotional weight of those events. Still, others believe we may see glimpses, just enough to shake us, to leave us with tears before the screen fades to black. But regardless of where season 6 ends, one thing is certain, it will be filled with moments that make us stop and reflect. We'll see the disciples wrestling with their doubts. We'll see friendships tested, faith shaken, and the cost of following Jesus revealed in ways that are raw and unforgettable. These are not just characters on a screen. They represent the struggles of real people who had to choose between fear and faith, between comfort and sacrifice. That is why this season feels like it will cut deeper than anything before. The performances will also carry much of the weight. Fans already know how incredible the cast has been at bringing these biblical figures to life in a way that feels human, relatable, and authentic. Every tear, every smile, every tremble in their voices has made the story personal. In season 6, those performances will matter more than ever because the emotions are about to run higher than anything we've seen before. The heartbreak, the betrayal, the love, and the hope, all of it will pour through the screen. And then there's the question of pacing. Some fans have pointed out in earlier seasons that a few episodes slowed down with side storylines. But this time, the creators don't have the luxury of slowing things too much. The events of season 6 are too critical, too emotionally charged. The pacing will likely be tighter, sharper, pulling us forward without letting us breathe. That in itself creates suspense. Viewers won't just watch. They'll feel dragged into the storm alongside the disciples. So as season 6 approaches, fans aren't just waiting for another chapter. They're preparing themselves for an emotional storm. They know laughter and joy will still be there, but so will heartbreak and tears. This mixture of light and shadow, hope and sorrow, is what promises to make The Chosen Season 6 the emotional roller coaster of a lifetime. If there's one thing fans love most about The Chosen, it's how the show makes familiar stories feel brand new. We've all heard about the miracles, the teachings, and the final days of Jesus. But when you watch this series, it feels different. It feels personal. And that's exactly what Season 6 promises to deliver. Familiar moments told in ways that will move us, shake us, and make us see them through fresh eyes. Think back to previous seasons. When Jesus healed the leper, it wasn't just about the miracle, it was about the emotion, the humanity, the desperation in that man's eyes. When he called Matthew, it wasn't just about choosing a tax collector, it was about showing us that no one is beyond grace. Every small detail was painted with emotion, turning scripture into living, breathing moments. That same approach will define season 6, but with even more weight, because now the story is moving toward its most difficult chapters. The disciples themselves will become the heart of this season. By now, viewers have bonded with them. We've laughed at their quirks, we've felt their doubts, and we've admired their growth. But in season 6, their struggles will take center stage. They will face fear like never before. Some will question their path. Others will feel the weight of leadership pressing down on them. And all of them will realize that following Jesus comes with a cost that is far greater than they imagined. This is where the emotional roller coaster truly begins, because their struggles reflect our own. Another reason fans are buzzing about this season is the balance of hope and despair. The story of Jesus is not just about sorrow, it is also about light shining in the darkest places. That means we will still see moments of laughter, of love, of quiet joy among the disciples. But every one of those moments will feel bittersweet because viewers know what lies ahead. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, enjoying the view while knowing the storm clouds are gathering right behind you. That tension will run through the entire season, keeping audiences hooked until the very end. And let's not forget the storytelling style. The Chosen is known for weaving multiple layers together: faith, humor, humanity, and raw emotion. In season 6, those layers will likely intensify. The writers know that this is the season where fans expect both tears and inspiration. Every conversation, every look, and every silence will carry meaning. Sometimes it's not the miracles that move us most. It's the quiet, human moments that linger in our hearts. Fans are also theorizing about how far the season will go. Will we see Judas's betrayal unfold fully? Will we watch Peter wrestle with doubt in ways that leave us broken? Will the seeds of despair be planted so strongly that we can already feel the shadow of the crucifixion, even if it doesn't happen yet? These are the questions filling online discussions, and the suspense only makes the wait harder. The truth is, no matter which path the creators choose, they've already built a story world where every choice feels alive, and every moment feels earned. Visually, Season 6 is expected to carry the same cinematic style we've come to love. The sweeping desert shots, the intimate lamplight, the close-ups that make you feel every tear and every spark of hope, all of that will continue. But this time, those visuals won't just be beautiful. They'll be heartbreaking. A smile in the firelight, a hand on a shoulder, or a glance of worry will hit harder because we know what lies ahead. This combination of storytelling and visuals is what makes The Chosen feel less like a show and more like an emotional experience. And here's what makes it even more powerful. Fans are not just watching history unfold, they are experiencing it as if it's happening now. That's why the series resonates so deeply. It reminds us that faith is not something distant. It's something alive, something human, something filled with struggle and hope. Season 6 will not just show us the story, it will pull us into it. And by the time the finale arrives, fans will feel like they've walked every step alongside the disciples. This is why Season 6 has been called the emotional roller coaster. Not because it's just full of twists and turns, but because it takes us up to the highest points of joy and down to the deepest valleys of heartbreak. That contrast, that constant movement between hope and despair, is what will leave fans talking long after the credits roll. As the story of The Chosen Season 6 unfolds, one of the most powerful elements will be the growing sense of inevitability. The disciples may not know the full weight of what lies ahead, but the audience does. That knowledge makes every moment heavier, every line of dialogue more meaningful. A smile between friends suddenly feels precious. A prayer whispered in the night feels urgent. And even silence carries a weight that lingers long after the scene ends. This is where the true brilliance of The Chosen lies. It doesn't just show us history, it makes us feel the tension of walking into the unknown. The character of Judas, in particular, will become a central point of suspense. Fans already know the role he will play in the coming events, but watching his journey unfold has been a slow and deliberate build. In Season 6, that build is likely to reach a boiling point. The question is not if he will betray Jesus, but how and when the show will reveal it. That suspense will hang over the audience like a shadow, turning even the smallest interaction into a potential clue. And when the moment finally comes, it won't just be a plot twist, it will be a heartbreak that cuts deep, because this show has made Judas more than a name. It has made him human. Another focus will likely be Peter. From the very first season, Peter has been one of the most passionate, fiery, and relatable disciples. His courage, his doubts, his love for Jesus, they have all made him a favorite among fans. But as we move into the later stages of the story, Peter's faith will be tested like never before. Will he stand strong, or will his fears overwhelm him? Season 6 may begin to lay the groundwork for the moments of denial that history tells us are coming. Just imagining Peter's struggle, his inner war between love and fear, is enough to send chills down the spine of anyone who has followed his journey from the start. And it's not just Judas or Peter. Every disciple will feel the weight of the coming storm. Mary Magdalene, who has been a symbol of redemption and faith, may face her own struggles as the world around her begins to collapse. John, often portrayed as steadfast and faithful, will likely become an anchor for the group. Thomas, Andrew, James, and the others will all play their part, showing how faith looks different in each life. Together, their journeys will paint a picture of humanity at its most vulnerable and at its most faithful. But what makes this season especially emotional is the growing sense of separation between Jesus and his followers. Not a physical separation, but an emotional one. Jesus knows what is coming, even if his disciples do not. That quiet knowledge shown through his words, his silences, and his glances will create moments of heartbreaking beauty. The audience will feel the tension between a teacher who knows his time is running short and students who still believe they have more time to learn. This contrast will be one of the most moving threads of Season 6. Fans are also speculating about how the creators will handle the pacing of these final events. Will the season slowly build toward the Last Supper, stopping just before the betrayal? Or will we see parts of the arrest, leaving us on the edge of our seats until Season 7? Either way, the storytelling will keep viewers hooked. Because no matter where it ends, the emotional impact will be unforgettable. It's not just about reaching the destination, it's about feeling the weight of every step along the way. And this is where the true roller coaster feeling comes in. One episode may leave viewers smiling with joy, filled with laughter and hope. The next may leave them in tears, shaken by fear, doubt, or heartbreak. The constant shift between highs and lows will keep audiences emotionally invested, unable to look away. The suspense won't come only from what's going to happen next. It will come from how much we care about these people, how deeply we feel their struggles. By the end of season 6, fans will likely feel a mixture of emotions, grateful for the beauty of the story, broken by its pain, and desperate to see what happens next. And that is the magic of The Chosen. It doesn't just tell a story, it makes you live it. Season 6 will leave viewers not just watching, but carrying the weight of these moments in their own hearts. As we move into the final stretch of The Chosen Season 6, anticipation builds to its highest point. Every step of this journey has brought us closer to the most pivotal moments in history, and now the weight of it all presses down on both the disciples and the audience. This is no longer just about miracles, teachings, or small victories. It's about destiny. And that destiny is painted with both sorrow and hope. The tension in this season will not just come from the external threats, but from the internal battles. The disciples will wrestle with their doubts more than ever before. Some will wonder if they are strong enough to continue. Others will fear the cost of following Jesus. And still others will cling desperately to hope, refusing to let fear break them. These struggles will feel deeply personal to viewers because they reflect the very questions we face in our own lives. How do you hold on to faith when everything around you feels uncertain? This is where Season 6 will shine the brightest. The show has never been afraid to show the humanity of its characters. It doesn't paint them as flawless saints, but as real people, weak, afraid, uncertain, and yet still capable of great faith. That honesty is what makes The Chosen different from any other biblical adaptation. And in Season 6, that honesty will cut deeper than ever before. But the suspense grows even stronger when we think about how the season might end. Theories among fans are everywhere. Some believe the finale will bring us right to the edge of the crucifixion, perhaps even showing the betrayal in full, leaving us stunned as the screen fades to black. Others believe the creators will hold back, choosing instead to stop just before those events so that Season 7 can carry the full emotional weight of the crucifixion and resurrection. Either way, the ending of Season 6 is guaranteed to be unforgettable. It will either break our hearts or leave us holding our breath, desperate for the final chapter. And then there is the question of release. While nothing in television is ever set in stone, word is that Season 6 will arrive in late 2025. That means fans still have time to prepare themselves for the emotional storm to come. Of course, filming schedules and post-production could shift that timeline slightly, but the anticipation is already sky high. Waiting may feel difficult, but in a way, that wait only adds to the suspense. Because the longer the build-up, the stronger the impact when the season finally arrives. What's most exciting, though, is not just what will happen in Season 6, but how it will make us feel. This is the season that will test the limits of our emotions. We'll feel joy, sorrow, fear, and hope, all in a single journey. It will be the kind of season that lingers in our minds long after we've finished watching, with moments that replay in our thoughts, scenes that bring tears even on a second or third viewing. And that is why The Chosen has become more than a series. It's not just something we watch, it's something we live with. Season after season, it has given us more than entertainment. It has given us moments of reflection, inspiration, and even healing. With Season 6, that impact will only grow stronger. Fans will walk away not just with a story in their minds, but with a fire in their hearts. So, as the countdown to Season 6 continues, one thing is clear. This will not be an ordinary season. This will be the storm before the calm, the heartbreak before the hope, the valley before the mountain. And when it ends, we will not simply be viewers. We will be witnesses to one of the most emotional retellings ever brought to the screen. Season 6 is not just another chapter. It is the moment everything changes. As the dust settles on everything we've explored about The Chosen Season 6, one truth remains. This is not just another season. It's a journey into the heart of faith, humanity, and sacrifice. We've walked with these characters from the very beginning. We've seen their doubts, their laughter, their tears, and their growth. And now, with Season 6, we're about to step into the most intense part of their story. A part that promises not only to move us, but to change us. The anticipation is almost unbearable. We know the stakes. We know the heartbreak that lies ahead. And yet we can't look away. That's the power of The Chosen. It makes us eager for a story we already know, because it shows us those moments in a way we've never experienced before. Season 6 will not only remind us of history, it will make us feel like we are living it, moment by moment, side by side with the disciples. And that's why fans are calling this season the emotional roller coaster of a lifetime. One moment will leave us smiling through tears, the next will leave us silent, heavy with sorrow, and the next will remind us why hope can never be broken. It's a season that won't just entertain, it will stay with us, echoing in our hearts long after the credits roll. So, as we wait for the official release, I want to hear from you. Do you think Season 6 will carry us right to the crucifixion, or will it leave that final heartbreak for Season 7? What are your theories, your hopes, and your fears for this season? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation isn't just about a show. It's about the way this story speaks to us all. And if you've enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join this growing community of fans who are walking this journey together. Because trust me, you won't want to miss a single update as we move closer to the release of what could be the most unforgettable chapter of The Chosen. Season 6 is coming, and when it does, it will take us higher, it will take us deeper, and it will leave us changed. The question is, are you ready for it?